I thought that would be like legalize it on a federal level, have us open accounts, have it be taxed.
Well, that's the biggest fuck in the whole thing is the FDIC insured banks, right?
Right.
These people are making millions of dollars and they have nowhere to put their money legally.
Yeah.
And it's creating problems. So we have all these people that are trying to legitimize, but they have 1 foot in the black market, 1 foot in the legitimate market, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They're trying to be legal, but the money part isn't backing up. That's what we've been dealing with on the insurance side for the longest time. It's hard to get them where they need to be. So obviously it's not a if, it's a when. But that's really good news. That's really good news.
Well, hopefully on that part.
I was going to the it's like a cannabis conference, a business conference or whatever. I didn't go this year because I was in the hospital with the kid. He was late or whatever, so I didn't go. But the year before when I went, so I went 2 years in a row, and then I missed this year. So hopefully I go back next year. But they did this thing and they were talking about banks, and they're like, "All right, raise your hand if you've had a bank account shut down due to being a cannabis operation." And like 90% of the room raised their hand. And then it's like, all right, keep your hand up if you've had 2 bank accounts shut down because of like fucking 80% of the people. And it got down to like this handful, like 15 people, and they were like up to 9 different times. And I was like, that is just fucking bullshit. Hey, can you give me those names of those people that had their bank shut down? No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
I need to help them out real quick.
Exactly.
But welcome into Peace, Love, and Shit, people.
Yeah.
Talking about marijuana because for our peace story right off the bat, we'll get to it this week.
Hell yeah.
Canada went legal. Whole of Canada. Good for them.
Man.
That place somebody's doing it right.
That place just seems to get more and more appetizing.
And according to Paul Stamets, shrooms are going to be legal in Vancouver here shortly.
Who's Paul Stamets?
He's like the world's leading mycologist.
Oh.
And so he's moving to Vancouver. His wife's Canadian, so he's moving up there. And part of the reason why is because they're going to legalize psilocybin mushrooms in Vancouver.
Did you get us tickets yet?
Not yet.
For the
date.
mushroom retreat? Yeah. But that's in Jamaica or something, right?
No, that one's in Jamaica. Yeah.
Oh, it's a different one.
But we'll make our own in Vancouver. Well, there will be now.
Multiple mushroom retreats on the table. And a mycologist, is that like the new the new preferred term for shrooming, kind of like weed and marijuana and pot turned to cannabis?
Mycologist is somebody that studies mushrooms. Right?
All mushrooms?
All mushrooms.
Oh, okay.
All mushrooms.
Is there a specific person? Is there a name for a Dr. Shroom? For just shrooms?
No. Like psilocybin mushrooms?
Yeah.
Dr. Awesome.
No, it's a me, Mario.
So good for Canada. Hopefully we'll get on board and start pulling everybody's chain in this country, right?
Peace.
Yeah.
I believe it's an if, not a when, you know. I used to say something and it sounds pretty harsh, but it's like all we need is just for the like old racist bastards to just die and then the world will be a better place. But they keep breeding and teaching the hate, so it's not, their numbers are dwindling, but they are still multiplying. So I figured like all these fucking idiot prick over conservative motherfuckers will just die out and age out. But no, it's not working. No disrespect to anybody that actually love that is conservative, but anyway, you're gonna lose this battle, motherfuckers. So that's that on that.
Seems that way.
It's gonna happen.
Then again, somehow the Oompa Loompa got into the Oval Office, so there's obviously a lot of people out there that still like somebody that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't need to go down that road.
Well, and I was pretty adamant that wouldn't fucking happen, and look what happened. Sometimes I'm still.
There was a lot of people that were really adamant that wasn't going to happen.
I'm still in awe of it. Like today, when we saw that, where was he? Was in front of the United Nations with like the whole world.
Oh my gosh!
Literally laughed in his fucking dumb face.
Oh, that's not the response I expected. He says, try to laugh off. He's probably pissed. He's probably like, give me the nuclear football right now. That's what scares me about that motherfucker.
See that he was pissed.
Yeah, and he's got his finger on a button, dude. That should scare everybody in America. Man, maybe that should be our shit story. It could have been our shit story, but I thought this one would particularly get in your hide a little bit, so I threw it up there for you, buddy.
Hell yeah. Tell me about it. No, I saw the headline, and I briefly read it, and I was like, you fucks.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? The one thing that pisses me off about this?
Well, we're talking about Ticketmaster apparently being in cahoots with scalpers to sell tickets at exorbitant prices.
This is more just confirming shit we already knew.
Yeah, it is.
But fuck you, and I'm glad you got caught, you sloppy bitches. Real gangsters don't get caught, motherfucker. But
Hopefully something comes along that changes that industry. Huh?
I keep... It's like a fucking monopoly.
Yeah. The convenience fee to buy a ticket online, what's that up to now? $12.50?
Oh,
a ticket?
Are you serious?
That's one of them.
Insane. Yeah.
That's one of them. There's like 4 various fees, and they're all climbing, and that's per ticket.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's shenanigans.
When you look at tickets, you're like, oh, these are $37. Hell yeah. You ring it up, you're like,
52.
I bought 2 tickets. How's it $109?
Yeah, easy.
Oh, yeah. Way easy.
Oh, and they always give me that server. Would you recommend Ticketmaster to a friend? 0. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, 0. I would give you negative points if I could. You fucking crooks.
I would give somebody else money not to go to you.
So speaking of the fees, though, somebody a few years ago or whatever sued them about the fees or some kind of technicality or whatever, and they lost, and there was this settlement, right? And they're like, if you filed a claim and you had bought tickets through here, I was like, have I bought tickets? Like, it's one of my problems. I'm trying to wean myself off buying tickets and not going to things. And fucking, I keep getting this email that says you have unused points that you need to apply to your ticket pick. I cannot access these points to save my fucking life. They're on an old junk email that I don't use. I don't know. I can't get into it. Like, the password reset won't work. It's like, we're going to give you these points, and it's not operator error, you motherfuckers. Whoever's listening is going to say, well, it's just operator error. You can't log into your shit. No, it's not. I don't get it. So fuck you, Ticketmaster, once and for all. Once again, I'm going to keep saying it until the fucking day you die. Fuck you. Fuck you in your stupid face.
That's this week's shit. While you were gone, I had to put Duffman to work, too.
Oh, really?
Well, the pool line springs a leak as we're trying to wrap up this project, right? Of course, it's going to happen. Yeah. And I tried to be P3 as fuck. I wasn't going to get mad about it. We had to fix it. We had to get it done. It is what it is. Me going to night shift is actually a blessing right now, because now I'll be able to try to get some stuff during the day. Yeah. And just get a little bit of sleep instead of a lot of sleep. I don't need a lot of sleep.
Well, you were here when shit hit the fan and you were able to kind of direct traffic.
Yeah.
And work
I just felt bad. He's over there laying with his arm in the pool for like 15 minutes, maybe.
Care. Well,
sorry, I missed that.
Had Mandarin on one, had Nate Dogg on another one, and then he was on one and Rudy was on the other one. It was... Water
glad I could help.
It is what it is. It was an emergency repair in a pool. Yeah. So it was either wait till the pool drains down or buy wet glue, it's called. It's made to be put on while you can't, with something you can't stop from leaking or whatever.
Right.
So hopefully it holds.
Well, I go in the backyard and Mandarin's over there laying by the pool like a fucking knucklehead. And I start making fun of him, right? And then little did I know that within 5 minutes I'd be laying at the pool with my hand over a drain too. And I was like, what? So the only thing that was kind of bugged out, I had to keep switching arms. We went to this Oktoberfest party on Saturday, which was kind of cool. This guy we work with, he's a retirement guy. His name's Pat. He's fucking amazing. He's super cool. He throws these dope parties and these client appreciation parties for his clients, and he invites us over and stuff like that, and we went to it, and they were all dressed in lederhosen and drindles, and they had a big old German band there with a big giant tuba and all this stuff, and like a pretzel bar and sausages and all this stuff, and kegs of beer. And Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest, I didn't like last year. I thought it tasted like shit. It was fucking delicious this year, and it was on the keg, and we were just getting taps on taps on taps, just, pints on pints on pints. And then they did this game, though, and it's like you have to fill up this giant, like, beer mug, and it wasn't like a German Stein. He sent us home with a goodie bag with, like, German Steins in it and shit. This guy's amazing. But it was like a giant, like, 40-ounce fucking beer mug or 32-ounce beer mug, and you fill it up with beer, and then you stand out with your arm extended, and then the last man standing wins. This guy, 73 years old, won the fucking competition, dressed in his fucking lederhosen and everything like a G. Wow. But so I made it like 4th out of like 17 people. So I start zenning out and I start meditating. I get in like this warrior pose, right? Yoga pose. I close my eyes, I put my head down, and I stick my arm out, and I'm vibing, and I'm chilling, right? And I'm going the distance. Dude's son-in-law He's like 24 or whatever. He comes up and gets in my ear. He's like, man, you got to shift your weight. You're sideways. You're going to start shaking. Like, don't do that. And I was like, all right, man, I'll listen to you. And I shouldn't have fucking listened to you. Don't listen to the outsiders and the naysayers. When you got a plan, stick to your fucking plan, especially if it's working and go through it. So I shift and I face forward like a dumbass and I stick my arm out. Immediately, arm starts shaking, like quivering like this. This older lady, this rotund woman walks around the front and she goes, look at the young guy. His arm's starting to shake. And I'm just like, I'm trying to ignore it. She goes, look at the kid. Look at the kid. His arm's shaking. Look, it's shaking bad now. I'm like, shut up, woman. And I'm like holding the thing like this. People are dropping out left and right. And they just got in my head. And finally I was like, ugh. So I had to, I dropped it. I didn't drop it. I set it down and I tapped out. About 4th out of 17. Not too bad. I haven't been working out lately since I injured my back. But fucking, I'm sitting there and I got my arm extended in the pool. Yeah. And all of a sudden, and it's Tuesday now, and that was Saturday. And all of a sudden, I'm feeling that shit like crazy. And I'm like, oh my God, my shoulder's fucked up. So I'm like trying to like put my other hand in there and like move it over the plug so I'm not like letting any pressure go through. Every now and then he's like, who took their finger off the hole? I'm like, it wasn't me. But
that was Mandarin. He was like looking at him. Dude, what are you doing? Nerd.
Anyway.
So, you guys, I got some good news. I told myself that I am going to be better about getting notification about news and local news because I'm just so behind on things that are happening. Like, half the time when we're having a conversation, and I'm like, what happened this week? Or what's going on? I didn't read that. So, I downloaded this app on my phone, and I get notifications. The funny thing is, I get notifications about China's news.
You're doing it wrong.
Oh, she'll learn.
A couple of weeks ago, I could have swore you were just talking all this shit about Fox News or Fox 40 or something like that.
Like Fox
and then
News.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you said. And then you came in the garage, you're like, yo, you'd be so proud of me. I just downloaded the Fox News app. And I was like, no, hypocrite.
Maybe it's
like,
not the Fox News. Maybe it's like some sort of...
Well, I'm totally confused now because you said you got some China shit on there now. I'd like, I don't even... So did you get any notifications about the Jell-O Man today?
The Jell-O Man?
Mr. Bill Cosby.
Yes, I saw that.
Oh, okay.
I saw that, but I didn't read it because I'm so grossed out by this individual.
He only got 3 years, huh?
It's like crazy. 3 to 12 or something.
Oh.
He's not going to make it. His butthole's going to hurt so bad.
Who would want to hit that? He's 81.
Say they gave him the pudding pop, man. I don't know, someone.
Why don't you put on that ugly sweater and get over here? I'm going to show you this pudding pop.
Oh, my God.
Jell. Oh! Oh, man, this is shenanigans.
I'm glad she... Well, sorry, yeah. I'm glad you...
You're trying to be more up on current events.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like news, but just like local news, like, Davis News. And
she's going to have to learn how to tone it down because she's getting ready for work this morning. And I'm barely awake, and she's like, there's an accident on I-5 South in Elk Grove.
See, that's...
And I'm like, you commute a mile and a half. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. That's why you just got to dial it in. So that's the first step. That's great. Becoming more aware, taking the steps, utilizing the tools you have to become more aware.
It's awesome.
But now you got to filter it. Now you got to filter out the shit that's irrelevant because the caution about the news, which I caution you about, which I want to warn you about, is the news can be super N10. The news can be super negative, and you could fall into this pit of despair where you're watching the news morning, noon, and night, and it's all just fucking horrible bullshit. There's a lot of it that you could just cut right down the middle and swipe into the trash. So it's definitely great to know what's going on in the world, but to a degree, like, I don't know.
I mean, like today,
you don't have to read them all.
Well, I found out that there's a tunnel from the drug cartel to California and stuff, and I was like, ooh.
Oh, they find those all the time.
Well, they just found one the other day, so I was surprised. Yeah. I had no idea.
It's part of that new Mayans show. The Mayans MC, the spinoff from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh?
Yeah, they get in a tunnel so they can go across the border.
Like, real?
Yeah. Well,
like for promo or whatever?
No, like it's part of the show. They're down on the border. And so that's how they get across is they have a little setup where they have this machine, and they like the machine, it looks like it's real, but it's like on a hinge. And they pick up this giant thing you don't think you'd be able to pick up because it's all, hooked up to do that. And then they go into the tunnel, you go across the border, and then you pop out in like some taco stand or something. Yeah.
That's the Chicken Man. That's how they did it in Breaking Bad. No, I don't think that's how they did it.
Well, anyways,
the Chicken
news is good.
Well, that's good. That's good.
There.
No, it's not that good though. That's where it's a double-edged sword, and just be careful. Like when you wake up first thing in the morning, and this is one thing that I love about this motherfucker, and I wanted to bring it up again. I know a lot of people hate Kanye, but he's trying to do a lot of good for himself. He's trying to do a lot of good for humanity and people in general. And a few months ago, he said this, not even what I wanted to bring up for love this week, but he said, like, don't wake up and the first thing you do is check your phone. And the first thing you do is check all of those 50 alerts, or you check your Instagram and you're searching for these followers and all this. Then it's not healthy. Like, look over and say what's up to your significant other or your spouse, or look over and say what's up to your kid. And I'm like, you know what? He's fucking right. Because one of my major stresses of the last 4 years has been my fucking phone. As much as I love my phone, I hate my phone, and I'm starting to wean myself off of the phone as much as I can. And I used to do that. Before I would go to bed, I fall asleep scrolling social media or scrolling the news app or reading the news to put myself to sleep. Have fucking nightmares. Wake up anxious. Wake up in the middle of the night. Can't sleep. First thing I do in the morning, pick up my phone. What did I miss? You know, who am I connected to? I'm responding to emails. You know, I'm responding to emails at 10 o'clock at night, and then some guy pisses me off, and then I can't go to sleep, and then it's like I can't fuck my wife because I can't get a fucking dick because of anger impotence. You know what I mean? Just kidding. But like it's bad news.
Anger impotence.
So he said that, and I'm like one of the last standing Ye defenders, whatever, and I'm gonna still keep defending dude. But that was something that he implemented or put out there in the world, and I took to heart, and it's been working very positively for me. So I just caution you with the news alerts and stuff. Another thing that he's working on right now is saying people are so tuned in to these followers and like likes on social media that it's becoming a bad thing. And this goes back to what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago about moderation. Like, use moderation with the social media. He's like, showing your likes is almost like the equivalent of showing everybody your bank account, or like, and this one was a little more extreme, but he said like, or advertising the size of your dick on your t-shirt. Like, it's like, that's private information, you know, like you shouldn't see that I have 1 million followers or that I have 52 likes. He's like, I want to participate in social media, but I want to do it without you seeing how many people like this, that, and the third, because you got teenagers out there that think that's all there is to life.
There's a big push for that right now.
You got these kids that think they're like king of the earth, but they have no real human contact. I don't give a fuck if some kid in Australia, that's cool to have a pen pal, have somebody support you from overseas, but if that's what your whole existence is based on, that's not healthy. And that's where it's like, we need to take the phone shit back a step or two. So I love that somebody that people continue to hate, who's really rooted in good and is often misunderstood, continues to put a lot of good shit and peace back out into the fucking air. I mean, sometimes he says some dumb shit, but who else doesn't? Have you ever listened to me on this podcast?
Every single time, actually.
You know, it's the
Right?
place, it's the time right now. You know, our parents probably would have said the same thing when we were growing up, that this is how it's going.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Like, it does bother me because it seems like it's wrong, but in 30 years they might go, remember people that thought it was weird that people liked likes? Like, that might be what our entire economy is based off of. We don't know what it's going to end up like. It's a big change. We're obviously in the middle of something different. Our kids spend way more time in front of a screen than we did.
Oh, yeah.
And our parents thought we spent too much time in front of a screen. So imagine, just think about how fast that's changing. Mac's going to have a, baby leap pad thing here probably before you know it. And it's amazing. And maybe there's benefit in it. You gotta
Well,
manage
that's where moderation
it somehow.
comes in.
But what is moderation? My dad didn't understand how we could sit down and play Joe Montana football for 6 straight hours. Drove him freaking crazy. Or Street Fighter 2, right?
Right.
Didn't bother us at all. It bothered the hell out of him. And then these kids can put on marathons that would have set me to shame.
Right.
And, I get it more than my dad did. But my moderation level when I was a kid was different than my dad's, and theirs is different. So how much do you let them just be equal to their peers, I guess?
But not if your peers are doing the wrong thing. If everyone's going to jump off a bridge, are you going to too? It's always going to go back to that simplicity of that.
If everybody's living in their phone and you stop your kid from living in his phone, then they become the social outcast or pariah.
No, I get it, but maybe sometimes that's what it takes. Maybe sometimes being the individual or being the leader of change or the catalyst for change or whatever isn't always the easiest thing to do. Yeah, I get it. That's tough because everyone wants to fit in, especially when they're an adolescent. We had some guys at work a couple of months ago, or maybe this was last year. They were talking about how the kids were losing their mind. They couldn't go on this camping trip because there was no Wi-Fi in there or whatever, or cell reception, and they would lose their Snapchat streak.
Right, exactly.
Why are the kids on Snapchat? Isn't that a place where you just get to see disappearing dick pics?
Yeah.
Or tit pics, depending on your preference. I don't know. I don't understand it. And it's like, that's cool and all, but that shouldn't be where it's at. Like, I don't know, man. Like, if it's a rainy day and there ain't really nothing else to do and it's dangerous to be outside, like, maybe you could play 6 hours of Madden, but have you conversed with me today? Have you conversed with your brother today? Have you done your fucking homework? Are your grades decent? I'm not saying you got to be on a roll and shit, but, like, do your work before you play, and then fucking play that shit till you fall asleep. I'll play with you. I can't wait till the kid's old enough I can start playing some fucking video games with them. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm definitely going to try to...
And then they pass you, and then you stop.
I know, but I know I'm going to suck at it. I suck at the games now, but I still like to play, and I'm going to show them the old games.
Not when they're waxing you, trust me. We're playing, like, Call of Duty 3, I would still beat them. And then the next one I didn't like, and my interest in video games started going down. We were playing a lot when I was still single. But once Mama KGB came around, I had something else to occupy my time. Right, I was doing something else with my thumbs. So they got like the new one, and I didn't like it because the dude's got like a rocket booster. And I just like traditional, I have a gun, you have a gun, we try to shoot each other. Like, I don't need shit you can throw around the corner or drop bombs on my head from some stupid airplane, because all that shit drives me too crazy when it gets out of control. So I kind of stopped playing, and they obviously didn't.
Right.
So they talked me into it every once in a while, and I'm just getting slaughtered. Yeah. I'm like, this is no fun anymore. So now I'm done. I don't.
That's why you got to break out Street Fighter 2 every now and then. It's like
at the dentist.
Okay. Oh, you were telling us about that a couple weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
And you were working him.
Oh, working him. He was getting pissed. He's like, what? I don't And I'm like, Hadouken. And then I'm doing the helicopter kick. And then I'm all you can. And he's like, what the hell just happened? I'm like, all right. Dad knows how to play video games. He doesn't know how to play the goofy shit you guys.
They're different games, right? But see, there he goes. Kids getting all hyped up and mad at you about losing. You're getting all mad that they're whooping your ass and losing. That it almost seems like right now that there's a conversation that needs to be had, like, yo, this is supposed to be fun, right? Like, this isn't a game. Like,
there's a level.
This is a game. We're taking it a little too fucking serious. It's like when people fight over professional sports. It's like, oh, hold on a second. We wouldn't have a game to play if we didn't have an opponent to play against. We're only as good as what we come up against. Obviously, varying levels of skill. Some teams are better. That's why we have the playoffs and the finals, and not everybody's a World Series champion or NFL Heisman Trophy winner or what fucking not. But if you're beating somebody to death over another color or another jersey or another hat, you're missing the fucking point of the game.
Competition.
Competition's cool, but you got to understand it's competition, not when it's making somebody feel like shit.
For whatever reason, in the last couple of years, I've went from being competitive to enjoying competition. We don't play games. I don't play games like I used to, especially like Trivial Pursuit. I used to drive me crazy if I didn't win. But now I'm just much more, let's just have fun. And it's some of the games we play helps.
Right.
Where it's just more about the sitting around. That's what I enjoy more now, is the sitting around and the bullshit.
Family time.
And that's what it's supposed to be about. That's why you have the game in the fucking first place.
We hear the kids sometimes, and I'm like, all right.
We're done.
Shut it off.
Yep, because the kids
You're not going to get that mad at a video game. I'm not going to listen to it.
Going too far. And that's where I feel like kind of like social media, the internet, TV, the news, all that shit is going. Call me fucking old. I don't give a fuck. Like, maybe that's just wisdom that comes with age and experience. Like,
But what if we've reached the point that we're not cool anymore, man?
I don't care.
But you have to think about it from your son's point of view. You have to let him, Billy Gardell says, right? You got to let him play a little bit. You don't want your kid to be the one at the end of the lunch table still playing jacks like no one talks to him.
No, I get it. They got to go out there and they got to get in a fight every now and then. But then when they come home and they have the black eye or they got suspended for whooping someone's ass, you got to have a fucking talk about it.
No, I'm not talking about just the anger though. I'm talking about letting them the social media and like Snapchat's a tough one. You're right. I don't see a functioning point to Snapchat besides doing shit you shouldn't be doing.
Why else would it disappear? Why else
and then
would
the
it fucking disappear?
Snapchat streak thing came up when we went camping last year.
Yeah, the kids were like,
They
I'm going
were-
to lose my streak.
For you
and I was
guys
like,
too.
what
like,
is
tough
that?
shit. I didn't even know what it was up until that point.
I don't get the point of it.
No.
I mean, I get it. If
I
it
had a
some-
talk with Tangelo as we drove into town because I had to go get something. So I'm like, why don't you come with me and you get to do your stupid Snapchat thing, right? But on the way there, I had a talk with him about that is not that important. You know what I mean? Like why they have their friends log in for them to keep their streaks going.
Really?
Yeah, so they all have
So
each
stupid.
access to each other's accounts.
That is so weird.
Which sounds even like a worse idea.
Yeah.
You know, like you're
Tangelo posted a bomb thread on the school. No, I didn't. Fucking Timmy has my account. It's Timmy.
So
Timmy's the
prove
fucking guy who
that
builds bombs.
after-
Yeah. I was like, well, why do you got a friend that builds bombs?
Right.
Why'd you give that guy your password? Your password is the same on all your fucking accounts. It's my birthday? Like, what? Now, the kids are going to fuck up. They're going to make some mistake. I get what you're saying. It's a fine line. It's hard. It's balanced. You got to
Yeah.
do it. I don't know, man. You know what my least favorite fucking form of communication in the world is right now?
talking on the phone.
No, I'm actually. Well, we could talk about that another time. It's the little on the texts. It's the little like exclamation point heart.
This guy.
People have
Shouldn't have told me that.
People have got no. I used to use it. I used to use it until I was on the receiving end of it too much, and it feels like a blow off. It's like, oh, I'd almost rather you not reply at all. If you send some funny article to somebody, or you tell somebody a fucking story, and you take the time to write 3 sentences, and everybody in the text thread just goes thumbs up, heart, thumbs up, or doesn't say anything at all. It's like, I'll just go in this closet and go fuck myself. Like, it's the worst. And then you'll get people who are late to the thread and haven't looked at their phone all day, and you're going to sleep, and they're going through like a thread between like 8 different people, and all of a sudden they're catching up on all the jokes and videos, and now they're putting little thumbs and hearts on all of this shit at like 10 fucking 30.
It's the like. It's the thumbs up, man.
Fuck the like. Fuck the like. It's no currency. It needs to be phased out.
not
It
Facebook,
needs to be
man.
phased out.
She was getting
Fuck
upset with me
Facebook.
one day, and so she sends me a text, and she's like, "Will you stop that?" So I sent the thumbs down, and then she's like, "You're a jerk," and I put like,
It's like
Exclamation points.
He's not responding.
It's you're not even responding. It's like you can't be bothered to type a word anymore. It's worse than K.
Yeah.
It's worse than the letter K. Like, that's like the passive aggressive. Use it when you need to, but use it sparingly, people. The little K. Like, K. Like, all right, obviously I fucked up. This person's upset.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, like, I'm busy. Okay, I get it. You're busy right now. We're all supposed to be working. Like, respond when you can respond, or don't respond at all. Or maybe don't even start the text thread at 10:30 in the morning when everyone's fucking working. I don't know. It's just thoroughly annoying to me.
I think it has a place. I think if you text me and you say, "I'm going to be over in 45 minutes," and I send you a thumbs up, what's wrong with that?
Use the emoji.
What
use
emoji?
Use the Simpsons emoji. The yellow Simpsons emoji.
There's emojis that you could.
What
do
is
instead of
wrong with
liking
me
the
saying,
text
"Yeah, okay, I'll be home at 5"?
I get it.
Thumbs up.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Totally works.
One hand.
That's a place for it.
Yeah.
That's a place for it. I get it. But when it's every fucking, it's gotten to the point
you.
on some of these threads where it's every fucking correspondence is a heart, a thumbs up, or a question mark. Every one. And I'm like, okay, we're overusing this. Let's get it back to roots a little bit. You're misusing the fucking tool, I think.
You ever send vertical messages?
What?
You ever send the vertical messages?
What's a vertical
What is
message?
that?
Just spell it out one letter at a time, just to really piss people off.
Oh,
Oh,
If
jeez.
they're
yeah.
hitting you too much.
I'll do one word, like at a time of a sentence, not just a letter. Or if I'm trying to emphasize a point.
I'm a multi-text
You
texter.
are a multi-text texter, and
Yes.
Erratic is a multi-text texter. I was going to address this at
What
another
is a
time.
multi-text?
Oh,
I
when you
send-
get one and then you go to reply, but you see the dots, you're like, he ain't done. And he's not going to be done saying what he needs to say until about 4 to 5 texts. So you
Oh,
just
I
that's
send
you
them
said
in
it-
sentences
Texts.
most of the time.
Sometimes it's cool to break it
Yeah.
up, but you can also hit enter and leave a space
Yeah.
and then continue to type. But it's almost like certain people use it to either vent or they feel like they need to communicate that way to get it off. I'm not critiquing you. Keep doing it. I actually find it kind of comical right now. I got 2 of them. And I'm glad that you brought that up yourself.
It's funny.
Because I've seen it and I'll be like getting ready to reply. I was like, I'm not supposed to talk. I'm just supposed to listen right now. I'm going to be a good friend. I'm going to listen. That's cool. So and I'll be like ironing a shirt. Oh, I donated all these clothes. One of my coworkers is awesome. She's volunteering for this big brothers, big sisters type of thing where they like help people or help youth in need that are aging out of the foster care system and they need, but once you turn 18, motherfuckers won't touch you anymore.
Yep.
So it helps the older ones and shit like that. And I was getting rid of some clothes and I'm trying to like purge shit I don't need, donate things, like just simplify things, not buy excess shit that I don't need. Just trying to, the kid has like really reframed a lot of my thinking. It's fucking weird. So I'm like, I'm going to help out. I'm going to give these people some fucking Calvin Klein. I'm going to give these people some Polo and some Michael fucking Kors. Like I'm going to give them all this nice shit. And, but I was like, I can't give it wrinkly. Like, come on, man. So I'm like, I'm ironing and I'm texting with E. And it's just like I start responding, and then I set the phone down. I'm pressing this sleeve or whatever, and it's like doodling, doodling. I was like, uh-oh. Can you press? Steam's going to see doodling. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna let him sit there for about 2-3 more shirts because this fool's just gonna keep going. I look down, and it's like fucking 10 texts. I was like, all right, buddy, like telling me like history of like old coworkers, nicknames, people I've never even fucking met before. He's like, I'm walking down the street, I'm going to this fool's B-Day party. I'm like, this guy's crazy. He's living the life in some sort of fashion. I was like, that's cool, you do your thing, buddy. But like, man, yeah, multiple texters, bro. I don't know, fuck the like button. That's all I'm saying.
No like button here. I will.
You don't have to wait for me to finish, by the way.
In moderation. Well, every now and then I won't because I'll forget what I was gonna say. Like you'll have a.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens in the conversation sometimes.
So, like, we got the P3 page up right now. P3 is obviously something we close every show out with: positively, positivity. But it's to be, again, used in moderation. It's not something that well, we've talked about this before too. It's not realistic to be fucking rainbow and sunshine all the fucking time. It's just not realistic. It's not who I am. It was funny in the midst of all this Eminem controversy and everything that was going on. He did this interview, and he was interviewing with Sway, and he said something. He's like, I kind of forgot that I like being angry. And I was like, oh, I'm totally that way. I loved that Bill Burr shit. Like, that guy was flames. Like, he was murdering shit. And he's like, get that anger out, man. It's like, if you harbor that shit all the time, it's one of the emotions, man. You're supposed to feel all of the emotions all the way through and move on to the next one. That's why we have it. If you don't know sad, you don't know happy, if you don't know anger, you don't know peace and calm, So we're in the midst of promoting all this P3 and we got the P3 on the webpage and all this shit. But I kind of started to feel like, dude, is this getting corny? I don't think this is what I wanted it or intended it to fucking be. And I'm scrolling through the Insta and fucking Nick Swardson, comedy genius, he posts this little meme and it's written like one of the P3 inspirational memes or quotes that we've been stealing from the internet and putting on our page. And it says, what does it say? Just checking in with you a year after that inspirational quote you posted to see how your new life is.
Oh, I loved it when I saw it.
And then the comment is, just going to leave this right here. I love it when people on the internet do that. Just going to leave this right here. Tag somebody that takes themselves way too serious and deep. And I was like, that's kind of like the way that it can go wrong if it's not being used again in balance, moderation, the yin to the fucking yang.
I started following somebody that on Twitter, some mindfulness thing, and it's bombardment, and then you just tune it out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like
you miss the point. Yeah. It loses the effectiveness, and I get it. It's good, and I think about that too. Like, okay, you guys are the guys that fucking made up and represent P3, but like you say like shit, fuck, cock, suck, motherfucker, tit like every other word, and you just literally talked about running some guy's head through the wall, and you got super aggro about a technological advancement. Like, huh? Like, that doesn't make sense. What's with the mixed messages? You guys are like a fucking octopus, but that's human. That's human nature, to be fucking a hypocrisy of oneself. Or
I could be positive that I think it's a bad idea that kids play too many video games.
Right.
I don't think it's necessarily an oxymoron, but I understand totally what you're saying, that it starts to feel soft, but that's just how people take it.
Well, no, and that's just what I'm saying. That's why I thought the joke was fun. I thought it was a great joke, and it was timely, and it was right in the midst of us fucking working on that page and shit. And I was just like, that's grand. So we'll tweet that shit out or put that on one of the various web interweb platforms and shit like that. So
That's funny.
I thought it was a little levity in the
You know
seriousness.
what kind of cracks me up? I don't remember where, maybe one of you or I read this on Instagram or Facebook, is where a girl posts a picture of herself, selfie in a bathroom, and something inspirational quote from Gandhi, and there's somebody like writing in the bottom, like, what does Gandhi have to do with the selfie in the bathroom, girl? You know what I mean?
Right?
I see it all the time. I see someone that takes a
ridiculous.
picture. They're like, "Look at my new hair," and their head is like cut off at the top, but their boobs are on full display.
Oh yeah, look at my new hair.
Yeah, look at my new haircut.
I saw this one the other day. Like it was like some girl. I think it was one of the comics or whatever. And she said, "I like this. I think this might be like my new favorite shirt." Retweet, and I'll like, and I'm like, retweet, tweet, and you'll what? Like, because it was just like va va boom. Like I was like, are they gonna come out?
Yeah.
Oh
some
fuck! My favorite one is the chick in the selfie with the dump in the toilet.
Oh,
That's not good.
She take this. It's some unattractive looking woman, and she's just like taking this like duck face selfie, and then like the caption on the bottom is like, "Hey, miss, next time why don't you make sure you flush?" And there's like a
Ew.
giant man turd
Or when they
in
leave
there.
a dildo in the background, those are
how
always
do you
good
not
too.
see that when you post
Because
that?
they're only worried about their eyebrows. Did you watch?
Yes, the father complaining about his daughter's eyebrows.
Oh, it's too loud. It's too long to watch here, so you're just
Yeah.
gonna have to go to my Twitter. I'll put it on Twitter. It's at Mr_Orange25. This guy from New Zealand or something. He's got an accent, Australian New Zealand accent, and he's talking about his grown daughter and her eyebrows. And
Tag
it's
me. I want to see
fucking
it. I
hilarious.
haven't
Yeah,
seen
everybody
it.
needs to go check it out. I don't want to waste too much of your time on the show today.
but it's pretty
Yeah,
funny.
maybe we should. I don't know. It's like 3 minutes long, right?
Yeah,
That's a
it
long
is.
time.
It
That's
is a
kinda
long
long.
time. Yeah.
So this show's only supposed to be 10 minutes long, and we always break 90, so I don't know. We're doing something fucking wrong, but we're having a good time doing it.
Yes, we are.
What's going on there? Does somebody get hangry? Are you hangry, or are you good? Did you eat, or were you just dealing with the pool?
No,
You
this is
seem in good spirits.
this is actually more in reference to last week.
Oh.
Last week was.
It was. So we were just talking about that. Yeah.
Well, you were having a rough week last week.
Yeah, which was I was having a rough week, and it was a little ironic that it seemed like it was the best mood you'd been in a while.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that too, and I was like, I feel like I stole dude's chi. I was like, what the fuck is this? Why can't we ever be at the
Yeah.
same level at the same time? I didn't do it on purpose.
I know it was. I definitely noticed it right away, and I was like, this is going to be interesting. No,
Well, a lot of that was, so I've been redirecting. I've
Yeah.
been trying to shift my focus, but at the same time, when you notice your friend's fucking down, you just, I feel you, man. Why don't you jump off that bridge? I'll jump with you. Like, no, dude. It's like,
sometimes that puts you in a better mood. Sometimes it helps you to be focused on somebody else a little bit.
maybe
you
that helped, but it was like, I wasn't
I'm
gonna-
not saying that's why you were in a good mood, because that was too. That all went down over the weekend. It was just stress, and
Yeah.
it was stress from getting ready for the wedding. Not the wedding itself. We've pretty much got that under wraps, I think. But there's still a little bit of stress on tied ends, and then not getting the support I was hoping to get from the kids, and just it all adds up.
Yeah.
And so I had a bad day, which led to another bad day, which led to a third bad day.
Started snowballing.
Well, actually, it got better, and then
Got worse.
no, yeah. By Monday, I had to work again, and I'd gotten a little bit better, but it still wasn't great.
Yeah.
And then I said we weren't even going to record, and I was like, maybe this is what we need to do. We need to start talking to each other again. We have hardly talked in 48 hours, so maybe we just need to talk about some other shit, and it'll be okay. And I think it was okay. And we got better. And then the next morning I woke up and I was all in a better mood. I went out and I walked the dogs, and that really helps a lot when I take them out. I just do laps and I get, some thinking out or whatever. And I come around the corner and I see the house and where the kids had fucked up the painting, and it just spun right back up. So it was just a rough week. And then I didn't do shit for 2 days. And maybe that's what I needed.
Sometimes you got to check out and not do stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes you definitely do.
Yeah, I hadn't watched TV in weeks. I just vegged out in front of the TV for a little while in bed, and I don't know. I got down. It doesn't happen very much anymore.
Yeah.
But it's gonna still happen again. So
It's going to happen.
I thought we should talk about it today a little bit. What happens when you do get down and you're down? And I was exactly there. I was in my head. I was like, just go. So I went to Wendy's to get a burger, and then I came back. Was that after all that? Was that this week?
That was this week.
Is that what you said? You were like, babe, go get something to eat.
Yeah.
Nikki will do that if she knows. She's like, you need to eat something because you're getting really angry.
Yeah, and it kind of happens for the both of us when we're in this situation of both lots of stress and, not talking to each other for a little bit. I mean, we're frustrated. We don't eat. So I think that part of it piles up on the whole thing as well. So we're hangry, we're frustrated. The kids, the house, I think it just escalates like 100% from 0 to 100 in like seconds.
It's way worse on an empty stomach. Why don't you eat? Like, you just get busy and don't eat?
No,
well, I haven't been eating a lot lately anyways.
Because you've just been watching your weight or whatever?
Yeah, something just clicked and changed, man, with the meditation and with all the exciting things we've been doing, the cookies we ate.
Yeah.
It's been fun, but it's also been I've learned a lot, which is weird that all of this happened because I'm like, man, if any time for me not to slide back, it would be while I'm meditating every day, which...
Have you kept that up?
I've missed a couple days.
Yeah.
But...
which is real.
Yeah.
It's realistic.
No, some of them were unavoidable. Like, I just had stuff all day. I didn't have 30 minutes to go meditate, which is going to happen on occasion.
Yep.
Matter of fact, Monday was one of those days because work, and then I got home, and then we recorded 2 shows, and then I was just tired, and you know what I mean? It had been a long 3 days, and I just went to bed. But I'm back, I do it when I can, which has still been a lot. I think all month I've missed 3 days.
Well, and it sucks, though. Those days that you missed, it sounded like almost the days you needed it the most.
Well, Monday might have been good, but I woke up in a good mood, and I was restarting, so I didn't feel like by the time we were laying in bed, I was like, maybe this is better for me just to stay in bed and get some sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were a couple days, and then it was at the one after that too. So yeah, I did need it the most likely.
I think you did.
It's frustrating. You're gonna have good and bad days. And I was telling the baby that this evening when I pulled him out of the car, I was going outside to like throw some water in a plant or these big ice cubes or whatever, and I was like, whenever I drop an ice cube or I have too many ice cubes, or I had this stupid it was to make a ice ball for like a whiskey or something like that, but it was a janky one and it didn't like work very well, and I was like, you know what, I don't need this. It's taking up freezer space. I've not used it since I filled it since we moved in fucking January, maybe ish. I can't remember the last time I used it. I'm tossing this thing in the garbage, part of my purge, right? And I was like, but I'm not going to waste this water. So I start like putting them in like plants and stuff. And I was like, these 2 plants outside will need them. And fucking I go to do it. And she's pulling in like right as I open the door. And I tried to duck, but she saw me and like pointed. And I was like, fuck, I was going to scare you. So I go around the corner and I pop open the door. And immediately like the baby just starts going, fuck. And I'm like, what's going on with him, man? And she's like, I don't know, man. The nanny said, or the daycare said he was having a rough day today. We were at the doctor yesterday, his 6 months checkup. He got his shots and stuff. She's like, I don't know if he's teething or his shots are bothering him or whatever. And I just scooped him up and started talking to him. Immediately consoled him. And I was telling him, I was like, you're going to have bad days some days. That's how you know the difference between a good day and a bad day. Mm-hmm. You got to have the bad days to have the good days. You're always going to have some N10 to the P3. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it was this show or it was the Fresh show where we talked about N10. Were you there when we talked about N10? Yeah. It's the yin to the yang that is P3. There's positively positive positivity, and then there's negativity to the 10th power, which is just like that snowball when shit just fucking starts to suck and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and it's this unstoppable force that makes you just want to veg out on the couch or sleep all fucking day. That's N10, and that's the reality of it, is that you can't be fucking P3 all the time. You can try to redirect, you can try to meditate, but there's going to be some negativity. There's going to be good and bad days. Otherwise, you can't know the fucking difference. Right. So I was trying to tell the kid that.
It felt a lot to like the Bill Burr thing, where it was like I was obviously putting some stuff away, and then that's who got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mandarin got it. And well, they all did, actually. Everybody did.
Yeah, but did they fuck up? Did you say they fucked up some painting or something? I mean, that's warranted.
Yeah, and his grades are bad. And then I was going to deal with that, and I was going to be okay with that. But then I saw that he was missing a test, and then I saw the date, and he wanted to stay home from school one day because he wasn't feeling good. I said, if I find out you have a test today and you're trying to get out of that, you're going to be in deep shit. Oh, no, I don't have a test today. Well, looked like maybe he did have a test that day, so I was pissed.
But that just digs the hole, right? Like,
I'm like, why?
How do you get that through to their head?
I don't know.
You can't miss the test because you're going to have 0 points versus 60 points or whatever. Even if you're going to fuck up the test, you're going to get some points. What, are you going to go in on Saturday and make up the test? Yeah.
Well, see, their school
you don't want to be a
now,
super senior.
You don't have homework, and that doesn't count towards anything. It's
Really?
the testing. So you have to.
Yeah, so you definitely can't miss
You
the
can't.
test.
Otherwise, you fail. And it's a big chunk of your grade if you miss a test.
What do you mean? They took away homework?
Yeah, you don't get graded. It does not apply to that
Oh,
anymore.
I thought we talked about this.
No.
Whole school district.
Kind of want to go back to school. What's happening? Wow, that's crazy. So wait a second. There's no homework, or there's homework, but they can do it, or if they do it, or don't do it if they don't want to.
There's essentially no homework. There's no regularly scheduled homework. When we went in for back to school, they all said there's no homework.
Is this the first year for this for you guys?
Yep.
Yeah, the first full year where it's full on. This is what's been going on. Man, his Spanish class doesn't even have desks.
What do they do?
They sit on yoga balls and stuff.
In a circle, man.
Well, yoga balls are good for your core and your back.
Yeah. And he's learning Spanish. Proving his posture and learning Spanish.
Right.
How many of those kids just go like this?
The whole time.
If you
They need the corny beat.
Señor Tangelo, stop at about your ball.
For everybody who's listening, the boys are just back down with their knees. They're doing some squats.
Oh, Mama KGB, I think they got it with the.
Whatever.
She said for everyone that's listening, who's watching? That's what scares me because that means they're in here.
Where's that damn Alexa?
Yeah. I mean, it's scary because no homework. On the other hand, they will give them some homework. They can't, if they do return it, it doesn't count towards the grade, but it's kind of like a getting some more information in your head pre-test. So you're retaining that information by taking that home. So
It's a whole different approach to teaching and learning. It's not that they're still doing it the same way. They're just not giving homework. They've changed a lot of stuff, and I agree with a lot of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to understand it because we had homework, but they just don't. Now, here's the thing that sucks is when he gets to high school next year, he's going to have homework again because that's a different district.
Oh.
Yeah.
Enjoy it while it lasts, buddy.
I guess.
it's only 1 year. I don't know how he'll get used,
Oh, I was getting all excited.
But I was hoping that he'd have better grades this year because of the difference in the way they were going to be teaching, but he's just slacking a little bit, and it's hard because I want to believe he's being honest with me when he's talking to me, but sometimes it's hard because that's what age they're at, right?
You just know he's lying.
Sometimes.
That one would fuck with me.
It gets right in your...
Because there's certain scenarios where I mean, we've talked about lying. Lie better, people. There's certain scenarios when someone's lying and you can't fucking say anything just for whatever circumstance. But with my own kid in my own living room while my own TV is on,
it's hard because you can't force them, bro. What are you gonna do if they stick by their guns? There's nothing you can do. You can try take away shit. I took away his phone for a couple days, and now he's on reduced time again. Right. I had bumped it up. Now I bumped it back down. You know, that's the only currency I have with them besides real currency. So I took back all the clothes he just got last weekend. In the midst of me being in a bad mood, I had told them they could go shopping. So I was like, fine. That was part of what made me mad was because nobody called to see how Dad was. They all called to get money. So I was like, oh, okay. But so I was already kind of on edge about that. And then I check his grades and I'm like, oh, no. So it just set me back off. I don't know. I guess, like I said, I need a Snickers. I'm not mean when I'm hungry. And I try. There was more than one moment where I was at least aware of the fact that I needed to stop. And I didn't all the times, but at least I was like, you need to find something else to do. You know that you're going to be better. But like you said, it just kept going back to me telling him, if you have a test today, I'm going to be pissed. It's like, it's not just a lie. It's like I don't know. It's a stab. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to just let it go. You're like, why are you lying about this?
Right.
He's like, it's math. Why would I be afraid of math? I'm like, that's my point. That makes it worse, son. It doesn't make it better. It's like I wasn't feeling good and I forgot I had a test. I'm like, you don't forget you had a test. Let alone, it was weeks ago. I'm like, why haven't you made it up by now? Well, she didn't say anything to me. Don't even start. Yeah. Leading up to the test, they talk about the test. Then after they're done with the test, they review the test. And now we're moving into new stuff because everything we covered was already on the last test. These are all stuff teachers still say.
Right.
So don't tell me that you didn't realize that is what had happened. You should have immediately tried to make it up. If you're telling me the truth about not knowing that day, you would have tried to make it up. But since you didn't try to make it up, that just makes it look worse. I don't believe that for the last 3 weeks you didn't realize that you'd missed a test. There's no fucking way.
Right. You know damn well what you did.
Yep. And so I don't understand why you're continuing to buy the lot. That's what just is like,
Well, we took away video games. My controllers are in our
during the
room.
week.
Well,
He's grounded right now, but when he gets them back, I'm just taking them away during the week, period, flat out. They'll have to earn it back slowly.
Yeah.
But
And we'll put a timer on the TV too. So
I'm just going to buy smart plugs.
Yeah.
For everything.
It's a way to do it. You piss me off, click, bye. I don't care what you're watching. I don't care what video game you are playing. In the middle of it, I don't give a shit. Shut it off. I will walk up there and grab the controller out of the hands. I don't care if you're pissed off at me. I don't care.
But and I don't want to give them the answer on the episode, but like they could just unplug the smart plug and then plug it right back into the real plug, so you don't waste all your money on all these.
Not if you change it.
Yeah, but if
in the wall.
Oh.
They sell them, yeah. No, they sell them where
in the wall.
Yeah, not just one that goes in.
Not just a plug into a plug in.
Oh no! Change the plug.
Change the actual.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
And then if I come home and I don't know where my extension cord is, I'll know why. Right? Like it won't be that. No, I thought about it where it's not the one where it's just in the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like you're gonna waste a lot of money.
I'm actually a little disappointed that these the routers don't have better control over the internet. As far as like I should be able to remotely log in from work and shut my internet off, and I can't, and I don't like that. Or maybe I'm just not. If any of you are listening and you know how to do that, please hit me up and tell me, because I've done searching and I can't really figure it out. I know how to set blocks so that like at certain times it's more restrictive for the whole house.
Do you have Xfinity?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the like Xfinity Home app or whatever. You can see if it'll tell you if somebody logged onto your internet. You can turn people's shit off. After that housewarming baby shower party, I was like, who the fuck is this? Like, I forgot, but there was like all of these people on the internet from like whatever, from playing that game or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's from them. So I'm like,
but I don't have their router or their, I don't have their router or their modem. I wonder if that matters.
Oh, maybe.
We'll figure it out.
Maybe.
I'll look into it though. Yeah. Thanks for the heads up. But that's what I want to do. I want to start controlling that stuff a little bit more. I don't know. It's hard. I feel like I understand the plight of my kids better than my dad did, but I don't know that it's making me a better father. I think I relate better to them than my dad related to me in a lot of ways.
Why? Just because you had
because he grew up on a farm in Wisconsin, and I didn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know anything about getting up at 4 to milk cows before school or all the shit they had to go through. It was a hard life.
Right.
My life has always been fairly easy. In the grand scheme of things, it's always been really easy. When you're in the middle of it and you're a kid and your hormones are raging and you don't understand things, then it can definitely seem tough. So I try to understand that.
Right.
But there's a fucking limit. All right. Good show, people. Thank you. So we'll catch y'all later. Oh. P3 this week. We can't go out of here without P3, and it relates to me, so I'm going to do the P3. The more you try to control something, the more it controls you. Free yourself and let things take their own natural course. And I agree. We're talking about it with Mandarin. Can't control him, so I got to let him go a little bit. But I can't control everybody, and I try to sometimes. I know that.
You're only setting yourself up for failure. I find myself doing it a lot, too. And I find myself getting frustrated and angry when people or things I'm trying to control aren't going the way I'm trying to control them. So there's just like, you just got to like, I've done all I can do. Let's like, one of my friends says, let's offer it up. Let's just be like, yo, throw up your hands. What's going to be will be. Like, he's religious, so he's like, let the big man take care of it, right? I'm not so religious, but it's like, let the universe take care of it. You've done everything you can do to put the wheels in motion to get it going the way you want to. Like, you can't freak out about it because you're only hurting yourself. Right. You know?
Right.
Easier fucking said than done.
It really is. I mean, sometimes it's out of your control, and you can't always try to control people because it's hard, because they will not have it.
It's not just people, though.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't control a lot of things work related. Sometimes, I mean, maybe you could claim that that's mostly people based, but there's lots of stuff you can't. You're right. It's mostly people.
Well, no, and then the people on the other end of it, though, they like see it. It's kind of like when you know someone's lying to you. It's like, come on, dude. It's like, or when somebody's giving you a load of fucking bull and you're like, come on, dude.
Lie better.
If someone's trying to like, hell, yeah, for real, lie better. I'm gonna get that in a fucking shirt. I'm not down with face tattoos, but my forehead's got a billboard for that sentence. Lie better, motherfucker. Anyway, we don't need to get into that. Well, hey guys, thanks for listening. I'm having a lot of sorry. I had some bust your balls.
Okay. Whatever, take it if you need it.
No, man. Thanks for listening, guys. I don't know. I had fun today. I think it was a good show.
It was a good show.
I thought it was fun.
Great.
It felt good to me.
It's going to come out good.
I'm Duffman. I'm Duffman. Definitely Duffman. You could catch me at Duffman916 on IG and the Twitter. Definitely Twitter. Definitely Duffman. Definitely Instagram. We got a special LSU Lacing Shit Up coming this week. We're going to pay tribute to the P3 of Tupac Shakur. It's an important one to me. A lot of people, they just see Thug Life, West Side, Outlaw. They don't know. All they see is hit 'em up. All they see is the beef. All they see is the negativity. So we're gonna shed some light on the P3 nature that truly was the real Tupac Shakur. And we're on Instagram, positively_positivity on the IG, _outhouse on IG. There's a lot of ways you guys can find us on social media, on the interwebs and whatnot. We hope you check it out. We hope you have fun listening to the show.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I had such a great time today. Hope you guys gonna enjoy the show. Check out the new P3 Twitter at P3DOH and follow me at mama_KGB. Thanks for tuning in, shitheads.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to swing by theouthouse.com. That's where you can find all of this stuff. If you can't remember it, we don't blame you. We smoke too much as well. I am at Mr_Orange25. Find me on Twitter. Find the Outhouse on Twitter at the Outhouse and at SSD Toilet. Thanks for listening, shitheads. Peace.
Bye.